Welcome to the Who Did What channel. I'm your host, Danielle, joined today by none other than Practical Sigma Dad.
Hi everyone, glad to be here and thanks for joining us.
And today, we're diving into all the things you're already talking about. Before we jump in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow and keeps the content flowing with everything you want to know and need to hear. Now let's get right to it. Today, we're switching gears a bit. We're taking a break from the usual celebrity drama to talk about something that's lighting up theatres, group chats, and yes, even Hollywood itself. That's right. We're talking about the brand new Superman movie.
It's been a lightning rod. Some people love it, some are furious, and everyone seems to have an opinion. And you know what they say about opinions? But we won't go there.
What happened to Superman? James Gunn's highly anticipated reboot was supposed to launch a new era for DC. Instead, it sparked an avalanche of backlash, confusion, and frustration from longtime fans. Critics and audiences are split, but not in the usual way. Is this movie a misunderstood masterpiece or one of the most disappointing superhero films of the decade? The first thing that stands out: Superman barely stands at all. Literally, for the first hour, our iconic hero is stuck in a strange pocket dimension, seemingly powerless, lost, and overwhelmed. While this could have been a unique storytelling approach, many viewers felt it stalled the plot entirely. Instead of action or heroism, we get emotional breakdowns, abstract visuals, and a lot of exposition, but very little momentum. Tonally, the film struggles. James Gunn's signature humour, usually a strength, feels oddly misplaced here. Moments that should be dramatic are constantly interrupted by slapstick or one-liners. Instead of grounding Superman in a new reality, the movie seems more interested in making jokes, even in moments that beg for sincerity. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, some people are calling the new Superman movie too political. You could say it's less Man of Steel and more Man of Discourse. There are definitely themes baked into the story: immigration, online outrage culture, and some not-so-subtle nods to social justice commentary. Lex Luthor, for example, is practically a mashup of two real-world figures. Take our current president, mix him with Elon Musk, and boom, Space Lex, complete with a billionaire tech savior complex, and probably a mug that says, "World domination starts with caffeine." And then there's the now infamous scene where online critics of Superman are symbolically portrayed as monkeys typing at keyboards. Yeah, that actually happened. Whether you found that clever satire or just way too on the nose really depends on your perspective. Or is it simply a dramatic way to frame the story? The issue, according to many viewers, is that the film introduces these weighty ideas, but never fully explores them. They're just there, undercooked and left to interpretation, which feeds into a larger critique of the movie. It juggles complex themes, identity, politics, warfare, without anchoring them to Superman himself. And when your main character spends most of the film crying or sidelined, those big ideas start to feel disconnected from the hero at the center of it all.
But for many, the messaging distracted from the core story. Oddly enough, Superman isn't the driving force in his own film. Characters like Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen get surprising amounts of screen time, sometimes more than Clark Kent himself. These characters have potential, but their expanded roles feel unearned, especially in what should have been Superman's defining film. Visually, the film is inconsistent. There are moments of brilliance, creative set pieces, stylized transitions, but they're overshadowed by an overuse of CGI and rapid editing that's hard to follow. Many viewers describe the climax as a digital blur, and critics echoed similar concerns about the lack of visual clarity and focus. Strangely, review scores are all over the place. Rotten Tomatoes shows a strong audience rating, but many fans are skeptical, claiming bots or hype may be skewing the numbers. Meanwhile, respected outlets like Empire and The Guardian gave the movie just 2 out of 5 stars. That's a big gap, one that raises questions about how people are watching, interpreting, and reviewing the film. More than anything, fans expected this movie to honor Superman's legacy. Instead, we got a confused identity arc, emotional instability, very little heroism, and barely any connection to the mythos established in earlier Superman films. Gone is the steady, confident Man of Steel. In his place, a version of Clark Kent that many found unrecognizable. This film was meant to launch a new cinematic universe. Spin-offs for characters like Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen are already being teased. But here's the concern. If Superman, the cornerstone of DC, is fumbled this hard, how can fans trust what comes next? The foundations feel shaky, and audiences are right to wonder, where is this all heading? Here's the thing. The movie had potential. Gunn wanted to tell a human story about identity, alienation, and purpose. That's a valid approach. But the execution failed to connect. Between tonal inconsistency, underdeveloped side plots, and an unclear moral compass, even the strongest moments were hard to appreciate. If anything, the film feels like 2 different movies mashed together, one dramatic, one goofy, and neither quite worked. Superman deserves better. The character isn't just a superhero, he's a symbol of hope, resilience, and inspiration. This reboot tried to modernize him, but in doing so, it may have lost what made him timeless in the first place. So, could it have been better? Absolutely. No movie is perfect, but for what it's worth, it was refreshing to see Superman back on the big screen again. There's something iconic, almost timeless, about that cape, that symbol, that hope. As for the political themes, they were likely intentional, but personally, I didn't feel like they completely derailed the film. Maybe some of what we're interpreting as messaging is just the influence of social media and non-stop headlines. Still, there was one thing I couldn't shake. Superman felt too emotional. Yes, he's allowed to feel. He's not a robot. But when you're a being with that much power, control matters. In the Superman mythos, the moments where he lets emotion override reason are never the good ones. You can be compassionate without completely breaking down. You can be strong and still human. That balance, it's what defines Superman at his best. And hopefully, in future films, we'll see a version of him that better reflects that strength, inside and out.
As for me, I'm not gonna lie, I had a great time with this movie. Yeah, I've seen the criticism, I've heard all the debates, but honestly, I didn't get caught up in the negativity. Movies like this are meant to transport you, to take you out of the stress and noise of the real world and into something a little more fun, a little more fantastic. And that's exactly what it did for me. I especially loved Superman's bond with Krypto. Sure, he's a superpowered dog, but at the end of the day, he's still a dog. Loyal, wild, hilarious, and the way he interacted with Superman, that hit the right mix of heart and humour. If you went in expecting gritty realism, you might have missed the point. But if you went in wanting to escape for 2 hours, this movie delivered. If this breakdown gave you something to think about, consider subscribing. We keep things honest, balanced, and always grounded in what really matters, the story. Hit the like button if you're tired of the noise and just want real conversations about film, and tell me in the comments, was this movie really that bad? Or are we just expecting too much from a superhero in 2025? This is Danielle and Practical Sigma Dad, keeping you in the know. Stay alert, stay tuned, and above all, stay awake.